Despite this glorious sunshine, we are moving into winter. Notice the puffer jacket, and if you've got X-ray eyes beneath these trousers, the thermal long johns. It's got a bit nippy, but I come down here to Downicary to look at the progress that we've made this year, and there's certainly been some progress. Plenty of trees have gone in. This is one of the black poplars, quite a rare species, and I'm very pleased to say it's already in bud. Many trees will produce their buds in the winter, ready to burst in the spring. But it's not just tree planting that's been going on here. There's been a lot of groundwork. Just have a look at this. Tay, morning.
Yes.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. How
Oh,
are
look at what you've done.
you? Yeah, well, it wasn't me, it was nature, but it's coming on.
So this was one of our super scrapes, basically, because across this wet meadow, the diggers have been out and they've dug some scrapes, and, you know, some which are more like mini pond lakes.
Yeah, basically is a lake now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. And already some of the banks have grassed up, which is nice, not looking completely raw. There's a bit of soil behind us here. But so it's beginning to settle in. And of course, the rain over the last few days has meant they've been filling up with water.
Certainly helped, yeah.
Any good birds?
Just had a green sandpiper on one of these little islands. I mean, we've had the usuals as well, mallards. I imagine there's been teal and the odd snipe coming in.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously at night these are going to look like little mirrors, and it's that brings those sorts of birds in. And of course, our hope is that, well, I mean, it looks nice and green, but we've got to improve on the sort of flora here, haven't we? So
Absolutely.
what we're hoping is that you know, more marsh plants will come in here rather than just this rather tedious old grass.
Yeah.
And you've been doing some planting.
Yeah, we've been helping that along. Yeah, so brought in things like yellow flag iris, various sedges, things like corky fruited dropwort, that kind of thing. Just all these kind of wetland plants that all increase the floral diversity.
And of course, once the wetland's here, we'll have to say those sorts of things will come naturally as well.
They will, yeah.
We can speed it up a little bit, but you know, lots of stuff will drop in here, blown in, or in the winter, when we hope that it gets even wetter than this, it will wash down
Washing from the
river, which will bring lots of seeds down, we hope.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next up then? These are looking fantastic. I should say this is not the only one, is it? Back down the field here, there was like, well, I mean, at least sort of 4 or 5 others. But what's going to happen next?
We'll see what happens over winter, basically. We'll just watch to see just how much water that they fill up with. I'll be planting more plants over the winter as well, just trying to kind of tickle away at that. We might be getting a few trees in as well into the kind of drier areas and on some of the islands as well, so that they become nice and treed up. And in the end, maybe one day a heronry starts to form on one of those islands. We don't know.
And we're thinking willow trees, things that grow quick.
Things that grow quick and watery, yeah. So willow, alder, maybe on the banks some kind of you know, dog rose, hawthorn, blackthorn, that kind of thing. Flowering trees, fruiting trees, all very nature friendly stuff.
Now, last time we were here, we were over here somewhere, and we were talking about rerouting that culvert that comes down from the railway. So basically what that's doing at the moment is its job. It's shifting all the water away from the railway line and directly into the river. But we were thinking about slowing that water up.
Yeah, so that's kind of the point of, we're going to see what happens with the water over winter without doing anything with that culvert. But in the end, it might be that we do put like a dam in, something in the culvert, so that the water comes out here as well. It gets this even more wet, and it'll become a very wet meadow essentially.
Yeah. And what about down on the river? Because we've had brilliant beaver action.
Oh, it's been amazing.
See the
baby
beaver.
Oh.
So good. Kissing beavers.
Yeah, beautiful stuff.
Been really good stuff. Glimpses of other animals as well, of course, here.
Yeah.
But you know, what are you thinking about other species that might come in?
So hopefully the beavers will start to come out into this area. That's kind of the point of having the trees out here. They should start to see this more as a home, and they can start making their own little adjustments to it. It might be that they even dam the culvert themselves. Otters hopefully will start to come out here as well. Hopefully at some point the river will burst its banks and you might end up with some fish getting into these ponds as well. So and any sort of invertebrates from the river, and then we'll start to see more of the ducks, more of the waders. It'll just become one rather than a field and a river. It'll become a wetland with a river.
What about polecat? Have you got polecat here?
Yeah, there is a polecat here. There's at least one polecat here. Yeah, we captured him or them crossing the bridge over there. So definitely polecats around.
So that's good. A few small predators coming in.
More predators. Hopefully, as the pine marten project in the east of Devon ramps up, we'll start to see them coming in. Yeah, plenty of foxes, badgers, they're all around as well.
And of course, as this field progresses, I mean, it's starting to get a bit rough over there with that soft rush and things, then the mammal population here will go up. Because when it was just a boring green field that was being constantly grazed, there's not a lot of leaf litter there, not a lot for voles and shrews to hide in. But now it's going to be left to be, a more natural environment. That population will go up. So we could see, barn owls in here. You could see winter short-eared owl, something like that.
That would be a dream, yeah. Maybe one day marsh harrier even, who knows?
Yeah.
You can dream.
Got it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Had a dream.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say? Well, you know what Kevin Costner said? If you build it, they will come.
Exactly.
That's what he said. We're building it. They're going to come.
One of the joys of coming to both our rewilding sites is checking what we've caught on our camera traps, and I'm really hoping to see an otter.
How long has it been down here, Tay?
Not that long, maybe a week.
It's a good little area though, because you've got two pieces of water joining one another here.
That's why I put it here. I just wanted to know what was using both the watery elements.
It's been quite wet though, hasn't it? You can see the water's been up and down. So any otter swank would have been washed away. You get the card out and go and have a peep. I love camera traps.
Yeah, me too.
Just never know what you're going to get. It could be anything on there. Bigfoot.
Probably Bigfoot.
Be my Bigfoot, not the Bigfoot. Oh, moment of truth, come on. Ooh, lots
things.
There. There's lots there. Let's go for that. Okay, I'm going to just give you that for a sec because I need to get my glasses out. My eyes are watering, It's the cold air.
It's the cold air.
Cold winter air. It's got to that point where... Okay, should we go through them? Oh no, it's a coot.
Oh, it's a coot.
Is it a coot or a moorhen? Hold on, let's play it and have a look.
Moorhen.
Moorhen, okay. Well, look, we can't turn our noses up at any bird.
No.
No question.
It's all wildlife.
Ooh, something there, moorhen again, by the looks of it, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, something there.
A squirrel.
It's grey squirrel. I think that's grey squirrel tail. They're going to give us -1 for that. Right. Should we try this one? Just does look like... No. Looks like the infrared function has ceased.
It's trying, but...
That's floating vegetation.
It is, isn't it?
Oh. Well,
is that another -1?
This is minus on account of the fact it's a non-native game bird, 60 million of which are released into the UK countryside.
Yeah, I'm not counting it as wildlife.
No,
really.
No. Ringneck pheasant, 0 points. Grey squirrel, another non-native. Oh, hold on, what's going on here?
Oh, is that one working?
Yeah, it's low light, isn't it? So what happened here?
A moorhen.
Moorhen. Okay. It's the same moorhen. Oh, 2 moorhens. Another moorhen sneaking in there. Oh, 3 moorhens.
Moorhens.
Okay.
Oh, that's 3 points.
Yeah, I think you're right. We've got to start being generous to ourselves at this point. Otherwise, I feel we can not. Moorhen. Moorhen. That is literally moorhen. Yeah. Quite like a moorhen,
They're a nice bird.
Yeah, they got red knees, haven't they?
They do. They have red knees.
I like a bird with red knees.
Big toes.
and
More hen.
More hen. Yeah, there it is. Oh, hold on, it climbed out. Are we going to see its red knees? We can see its big toes. No,
No.
didn't flash the red knees. Okay, I think we've got
One more.
one more chance.
And that's probably
This is probably you taking
me.
the card out.
Yeah.
Let's have a look there.
It is, yeah.
You taking the card out. So, grey squirrel, ringneck pheasant,
And
moorhen,
several more hens.
nocturnal failure. But look, that's the way it works sometimes, isn't it?
Things go wrong,
Yeah.
and sometimes there isn't much about.
You don't always get a snow leopard
No.
on your camera.
Very rarely in this country, actually.
So, ultimately, you got any more?
I've got some more, yeah.
Excellent, good. Okay, let's pack this one up. Put the card back in. Hope we get something next time.
Undaunted, the search for an otter continues, or anything really, preferably no more moorhens.
Look at this. Now, no prizes, of course, for knowing what's going on here. This is the work of the beaver. Look at that, quite fresh as well. And look, you can see etched in here those tooth marks made by its very powerful incisors. Look at that though, it's not going to take them much longer, is it?
Right, so it's just here.
Oh, here we are. We've got moorhen to beat. Is there anything
Hopefully.
on there? Don't cheat. Just tell me that there's something on there.
The suspense. There's 124 things
124
on
clips?
there. Yeah.
Sure, there's got
So
to
there's
it
got
can't
to
be
be something.
124 more. There
Well,
aren't that many moorhens in Downicary.
oh, it seems like there might be.
Let's take it outside and have a look. What have we got here?
Oh, a beaver.
Oh, a beaver.
That's a start.
Oh,
Better
look
than
at
a
that.
moorhen.
Bit of grooming. That looks quite small, is it just me?
Yeah, it does look a bit small.
Oh, it looks neat and tidy and trim. That could be baby beaver.
Baby beaver, yeah.
Okay. That's probably going to be the same one. Let's try that.
Another beaver.
Oh, another beaver.
He's just passing.
Let's go for daylight. Wood pigeon.
Oh,
Now, come on. An underrated bird.
beautiful bird.
I like the wood pigeon. I love its sort of monotonous cooing first thing in the morning. Reminds me of Euro disco music. Right, what have we got here? Water level coming up. Oh,
Oh, here we go.
avert
Friend the moorhen.
your eyes. It's the moorhen. Young moorhen.
Young one.
I wonder if the moorhens have moved in because it's the winter. Oh my goodness. Don't look. There's another moorhen. Let's go for night. What have we got here? Oh,
Oh.
swimming. Beaver.
That looked like a little one, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Let's go again. Big beaver. I think that first one was
That got to have been
a young
the
one
size of that
because that's a much larger animal, isn't it?
beaver.
Busy making its way upstream. Oh,
Oh, fuck.
Mr. Fox, look at that. Yes. Oh, lovely. What a great view. My favourite mammal, the fox. Right. Just getting light first thing in the morning, and it's a...
Surprise, surprise. Moorhen.
Okay.
Surprising lack of herons.
Yeah.
There's quite a few different beavers, I think. Some big, some little, some medium. I see that's a little beaver.
That's a very small beaver.
Yeah, that's got to be one of this year's babies.
Yeah. There's a great variety in size, isn't there? But listen, I've got a good feeling. I think if we move this camera to where that wood is being gnawed, we're definitely going to get a different sort of action. I mean, it's great to see all the animals here. We've seen a great range of sizes. I mean, I would guesstimate by looking at these that there's... I mean, if you think that you've got to have at least two big ones, and then there were a couple of intermediate sizes, there could be a family of 6 here, couldn't
I
there?
think so. Yeah, I think you've got kits from this year. You might have kits from last year, and
Yeah.
you've got the adults. So yeah, a full family.
What about the otters?
Where are the otters?
Where are the otters? I mean, I think they're going to be moving through, aren't they? So it's just it's pot luck as to whether they trigger the camera in that particular spot when they do come through. And of course, may only be coming through every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, they might have quite a large territory here. You know, so it's just luck.
Come on then, let's go for chewing beaver.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, we've been very fortunate to have been watching the beavers here at Downicary on those trap cameras throughout the course of the summer. And here with Tay, I'm standing quite close to their lodge. The question is, what are they going to be doing in the winter?
A lot of sleeping, but definitely not hibernating. Because basically in the summer, the spring summer, they've got a whole glut of food on the ground. You know, they've been seen eating over 300 different plant species. But in the winter, obviously that all dies back or loses all of its nutritional value. So the next best thing is the bark of the trees. So that's when they start really going for the trees and bringing down the trees so that they could get to the bark, particularly that fresh bark right at the tops of the trees.
So at the moment, we'd expect to see them gnawing. We ought to put a camera on one of these trees that they've already
We
started.
should definitely put
Then
a
we could
camera
get
in there.
some gnawing on
Yeah.
there. But so at the moment then, so would the pair of the beavers are going to be in the lodge here somewhere, and we know that they've got at least one kit.
Definitely, yeah.
So probably 3 beavers in there.
At least, yeah.
At least. So, and again, you mentioned they don't hibernate, of course. So they do have to store food. When in countries where it's really tough, Canada, Scandinavia, where everything freezes, they will also store food in the form of sort of branches which they've chewed off.
Yeah, yeah. So they'll create a winter larder. So they'll go and basically, once they've felled the tree, they'll process it, take off the upper branches, and then they'll go and sink them in the mud at the bottom of a pond or a river. If it's so cold that the river will freeze over, then yeah, at the bottom of the river. And it's really cool if you do go over to one of these kind of colder places, even up in Scotland in some places, you can have a frozen over loch or something. And you'll see all these sticks sticking out the top of the ice, and it's very obvious then that that's where the larders are.
Fantastic.
And they can access them even if the whole thing is frozen over.
Amazing. It's great to think that they're just somewhere, we think, down in this lodge. And when we're looking at this, a lot of people are going to think, oh, hold on a moment. That's just a part of wood that's got washed up against the tree. And there is a certain amount of wood that's been washed up against the tree, but beneath that is something that they've constructed specifically.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably quite a new lodge, which is why it's not, desperately obvious that it's here. But, they will keep adding to these lodges every year until they become a really big structure. In this case, it's not obvious that it's here. We know it's here because we've been watching beavers here all year. But yeah, they're in there.
And the idea of the lodge, of course, is to protect the animals whilst they're resting. So it's got a top which is made of wood, mud, but then beneath the water level, that's where the entrances go into it, again, for security, basically.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, so basically, in the end, you have this very strong protective structure that, even a bear is going to struggle to get into it. And it's also very well insulated as well.
Yeah, good point, good point. Okay, let's leave them in peace and set up a camera on that tree.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's do that. Here we are, scene of much activity.
Perfect spot for a camera trap.
Yeah, we have to get it quite high so there aren't any more flooding incidents.
We'll try
just on there.
and attach it to that, I think.
Okay.
Oh.
Speed. Oh, well, got another idea.
Feed it through there.
That too, like that. I've got a great feeling about this, honestly.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
It's going to be beaver chewing.
Really
sensation. Beaver chewing sensation. I want to come back tomorrow. I've got such a good feeling about it. I can see this winning awards. BAFTA.
Oh, definitely.
Beaver BAFTA.
Definitely.
It's going to get the Beaver BAFTA for best chewing. And best chewing goes to Tay And Chris at Downicary. Massive round of applause.
That's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, that's going to be perfect.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Look at that.
It's
There we are. It's a bit bodged, but
it'll do
bodging's,
the trick.
bodging's best. Okay?
Yeah.
Honestly. What are you going to wear to the awards ceremony?
Probably what I'm wearing now.
Exciting times, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think people are going to be surprised at how rapidly this landscape transforms.
I was surprised how rapidly this
Yeah.
this was transforming.
It's well on the way.
Yeah.
And those scrapes and ponds have made an enormous difference.
They're looking amazing.
And they'll change the vegetation really quickly. And certainly if we get some flooding and this river breaks its banks, then we'll know where the water's going to stay. And then that could inform us for next year's.
Yeah, what we have to do with the water going forward. How wet do we want it, really, basically?
Yeah, fantastic stuff. All right, I'm going to leave you to it. See you in a couple of weeks or something.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah, keep an eye on that. I'm not going to wait 2 weeks to see that.
Oh, no. I'll keep you
Honestly.
updated on that one.
Seriously, WhatsApp it to me. It's the minute you get it. All right, cheers, bye.